Good morning, everyone, and welcome to day 2 of the World Ninja League head-to-head championships here at Ninja Mania in Danbury, Connecticut. I'm Kane Casillas alongside Jamie Dayhuff, and we are headed back into the gym for 2 epic lanes of obstacles designed by the one and only Ryan Tanner, who has spent months making sure that these courses are ready for the world's best athletes to be going head-to-head against each other for the title of champion. In the gym, we've had some insane action from the kids division all the way up to the preteen division. And now, today, we are kicking off with the adult female and male divisions. All of our athletes have qualified at one of these 6 locations. We've had 2 regionals per region, so there have been 12 opportunities for our athletes to qualify. This means that only the best of the best have come over to these championships, and we're going to see a true clash of the titans no matter what division you're tuning in for. Now, as far as our format that our athletes will be facing, we will be looking at a double elimination bracket. This will start with all of our athletes in the winner's bracket. If an athlete loses a match, they drop to the comeback bracket instead of being eliminated. A second loss in the comeback bracket will result in elimination. The last remaining athlete in the comeback bracket faces the winner's bracket champion in the final round. And if in that final round the comeback bracket champion wins, we will have a final reset match where winner takes all. It's also worth noting that we will be using the challenge course format, so our athletes will have 2 retries per course, 1 retry per obstacle. If they fail the same obstacle twice or fail 3 different obstacles, their run will officially end. The timer will not be frozen this time around, so that way both of our athletes on the course can run at the same pace. All right. With that said, Jamie, we've got 10 pretty dangerous obstacles on this course. Dangerous in the sense that one slip up could happen on any of these. What are some obstacles that have caught your eye from yesterday's action and from our rules walkthroughs that we've been seeing off stream?
All right, we're going to get started in about 5 minutes. We'll start with our adult females, and then we'll jump into the adult male bracket.
Absolutely. That's obstacle number 7, Edge of Glory. And another one that I noticed is really starting to get unhinged and loosened up. Obstacle number 9, the Turbo Rollers. We know them all too well from our World Championship. And that has definitely cost some athletes valuable seconds. And honestly, people have lost the lead off of stumbling over the Turbo Rollers. So really got to make sure that you have not just good agility, but good precision on those. That's right. Now, taking a look at some of our competitors, we have 2 in the adult female division and 5 in the adult male division kicking off day 2. Our top 2 female competitors are actually twins. This is Brooke Redmond and Callie Redmond, both coming from Scottsdale, Arizona. They qualified from the special event qualifier in Las Vegas. It was the Olympia Ninja Classic, another head-to-head tournament that qualified them for this event. And Callie actually got the win over Brooke by 4 seconds at that event. However, that was back in October. You know, a lot of things might have changed between October and now. So time will tell which sister's going to come out on top. It's going to be I think it's just going to be a matter of who wants it more, Jamie. What about you?
Yeah, maintaining that lead is going to be incredibly difficult, and we all know that Callie wants to maintain that, but Brooke, she has just this desire. She's already seen her sister beat her once, so she wants to make sure that she's able to redeem herself. She does not want to lose again. So I know that she's going to definitely be fighting for this. However, again, with a course with as many mistakes as possible that could happen, it's just making sure that you stay out of your head in the game, not losing any sense of focus.
I also just want to shout out Brooke's jacket here in her headshot. I got My Chemical Romance and 21 Pilots. 21 Pilots being my favorite band out there. So props to Brooke there. I think I've made my pick on who I'm rooting for now. But in all seriousness, in all seriousness, these two sisters will be going head to head, not just once, but twice, as we are essentially having a championship matchup. They're going to have to win 2 races against their opponent. So we'll see who can get that best 2 out of 3. It will not be over for them after 1 race.
Mm-hmm.
Now, taking a look at our adult male, we are going to be having a ghost run where one of our athletes will not be racing against anyone. That's Ethan Alavrides. Ethan, very prominent figure from the Premier Series, really dedicated to the sport, not afraid of any type of competition. He is our 1 seed coming into today. So he's going to be running by himself just to gain a little bit of experience and gather what we call beta on an obstacle throughout the entire course. And that way, when he actually is in his first matchup, it'll be everyone's second run on the course, avoiding any advantages or disadvantages to other competitors.
Yeah, but having that ghost run, it's going to give so much less pressure on him. He's going to truly be able to feel out each of these obstacles. That's going to be so handy, especially going into that mixed grab at the end with that UBC pipe.
That's so true. That PVC being added yesterday in the preteen division threw off a lot of the links that we were seeing in the younger divisions without it. And so I'm curious as to how our adults are going to adjust. That's a great catch. Sean O'Shea is our number 2 seed coming out of the New York City Ninja Academy. He's been pretty active this season. 7 tier 1 comps, 2 in head-to-head, so a total of 9. And qualifying anywhere in the Northeast region is not easy. The Northeast region specifically is one of the largest regions of the World Ninja League, so constantly facing a stacked field.
Incredibly competitive.
Very, very true. Now, taking a look at our number 3, Kyle Rear. Kyle, 20 years old, studies at Rider University, 3-time Worlds finalist, qualified for Premier Series twice, and has been top 3 in the Northeast region for adults for the last 2 seasons running. So he's going to be definitely one to look out for. But for now, we're going to take it back to the floor. At the starting line right now, in the red lane on the right side of your screen, we have Brooke Redmond. On the left side, Callie Redmond.
And they're just going to go straight off here onto this obstacle, already onto obstacle 2, making their way nicely through this obstacle. We're going to see a little bit of a slow approach here as they're making their way down to this next obstacle, but it looks like a pace is going to start to be brought up here.
There.
We're going to get links, yep.
Oh, they're move for move now, Jamie.
Yeah,
Callie maybe just a small step ahead.
But now we're going to go into these little donuts here. Oh, and we have
and Brooke has to fall back.
Here. And that's definitely going to put some pressure onto her and give Callie a little bit of a leeway here as she makes her way into this next part of the course. Now into Turbo Roller, such a feared obstacle, and she gets through it. All right. Now nearing the end of this course, gotta get onto these obstacles.
Brooke and she wins as well. Callie gonna get the win. Now, this does mean that we will be seeing a rematch between these two, but Callie, such clean links at the end. It's like no PVC for them on that last obstacle, so it's just a straight shot to the buzzer for her. Both of our athletes here today out of Hit Squad Ninja Gym over in Arizona.
Now, it is going to be a best out of 3, correct?
Yes, so they will be facing off one last time. The stakes have been set. If Callie wins again, she will be your head-to-head champion. But if Brooke wins this second round, we will be seeing a tiebreaker race. Best 2 out of 3. And you can see the sisters on the bottom left of your screen. Callie's in shot, Brooke not at the moment, but they're working things out together. You can see there was a bit of a motion of some laches and whatnot.
Yeah, trying to figure out that efficiency.
Well, not only that, but the sportsmanship, and obviously they're sisters, so they're going to help each other out. Sisters, teammates, training partners. Love to see the camaraderie there.
It looks like they're getting ready to get another shot at the course. These 10 obstacles. Now, how far exactly did Brooke get in before Callie hit that buzzer?
Well, Brooke actually took a fall twice on obstacle number 5, the glide and grab. There was not any additional rings like previous divisions. You're going straight over to those tiny shelves. We'll see if Brooke can make the adjustment here. She's in the blue lane on the left side of your screen. Callie in the red lane on the right. Now,
All right, and they are
coming up
ready for
on Monkey
attempt
Peg.
number 2. Looks like Callie's going to be skipping some of those little bars there, and she's going to maintain that lead here.
But
So
Brooke's
now
not far
this is
behind,
her.
linking her way through.
Okay, a little bit farther ahead than last time where it was pretty much neck and neck. But oh, and now we're catching up. We're getting pretty
Yes.
close here.
Now here's going to be where it gets interesting. Brooke has not
On the
faced this half of the
turbo
course.
rollers. So mistakes could
Callie's
happen
pushing
here.
through.
Right, it's going to be really
Brooke
close here.
also on the last
Will she
obstacle,
link
but
it?
Callie's linking
She
out.
links it.
Gets the buzzer. And Brooke right there with her. 39.4 for Callie, 42.5 for Brooke, which means Callie is your official head-to-head champion for the adult female division. Take a look at that finish again, Jamie.
And congratulations to her. That was no easy feat. Brooke definitely put up a great fight here, getting closer than she ever had before on obstacles that she didn't have any experience on compared to Callie, who had her second attempt on most of those back half
We're going to
obstacles.
start off for the adult
That
males
was
with
a
Ethan
very
Hughes
close
on the
matchup,
ghost run,
and
then we'll jump
we
into
will
our
be
first
seeing, I
race
believe, the
between
podium
David
very
and
shortly
Matthew.
as both of our women are about to get their trophies for first and second place. There you have it, their official rankings. Crazy. What a talented family getting first and second in their division.
That's amazing for them.
We'll be cutting over to the podium very, very shortly, but
Hey, Christy.
interesting approach here, gone with the 8 obstacle version that we saw earlier yesterday morning. Do you think we're going to see the 8 obstacle or the 10 obstacle version here for the adult male division?
I'm not really sure for this. Both those divisions really are going to depend on just their overall efficiency on each of these obstacles. So I could really see it going both ways.
Well, I've just been informed that we'll be seeing both of our divisions receive their awards at the same time, as we will be kicking off the adult male division right now.
Right, with our ghost run here from Ethan.
Let's start with our first ghost run.
Yes.
So we're going to have Ethan on the course for a ghost run, and then we'll jump into our first race, which will have
And
David
there's a look
in the
at your
red
bracket
lane and
there.
Matthew
Ethan
in
with
the
his
blue.
ghost run, which means either David Preston or Matthew Cancro is going to be racing to compete in the first official round of the winner's bracket against Ethan, while the loser will enter our comeback bracket.
Right, we've seen a few close races already today, so Ethan doesn't really have that pressure here, but with that experience being in a competitive setting rather than just testing, we're going to see what he is able to pull off here as his run is about to begin. All right, here we go. Right,
And you
going
can see
swiftly
already,
into these bars. Yeah,
you can see already he's trying to move with a lot of urgency to make sure that when he does have an opponent, he's going to move quickly.
Yeah, and getting that hindsight is so good. He's going to try and link these. Can't get it.
He's going to go back. Can he use his first retry?
Now he only has one shot left on this obstacle. Going to go for a backswing here. Smart move.
Yeah, not exactly
now,
getting his hips and chest high enough for those links. So he's going to take those extra swings.
Now heading on to the sliding part here. A little bit caught in no man's land, going back to the starting line.
Oh man, he takes
down
his second
there.
drop, which means any fall after this is going to
will
end
be
his run
elimination.
Ooh,
but it looks like that's not
good
phasing
thing
him
it's a ghost
swiftly
run.
through.
Oh
Ooh,
my goodness,
little bit of a
one-handed.
close call there.
He's a little
Could've
crooked
worked
now,
around there.
straightens out. And we'll be
Good
moving into
recovery
the edge
here.
of glory. Oh man,
and
and that's
goes down on that
officially
second
it for
ledge.
his run. Oh no. Having a
But still
ghost
made it
run
very
and
far.
having it end short.
All right, we're
Gonna
jump
be
into our
interesting to
first
see what
race. We have
happens when he
David in
enters
the
his
red
first
lane
race
and
now,
Matthew in the blue
because he's
lane.
not only going to have to worry about the obstacles that he
Following
fell on,
race will be
but not
Sean
just
and
the
Kyle.
obstacles that he couldn't even attempt the first time, plus the added pressure of an opponent. And we'll see who his opponent will be right now, as Matthew Cancro in the blue lane, coming out of Empire Ninja, races David Preston in the red lane.
Right, getting ready to start right now, making their way through these steps pretty swiftly, and we have an immediate fail. Looks like we just did not get a good grab there, but still able to get back right onto it. A good recovery, making up that timing. Now we're going to see what happens here. It looks like we're going to see another backswing, seeing that Ethan's fail from earlier just has definitely stayed in these competitors' heads. Does not want to afford the same mistake. But it looks like we're going to see a quick pace here. Going to grab onto these little ledges here. A lot quicker than Ethan so far, but making his way nicely. All right, now one competitor behind, one competitor ahead, and now onto the obstacle that no one has been able to beat today, the Edge of Glory. We're going to see what happens here, taking this a little bit of a slower approach, but that has allowed for them to essentially be neck and neck now as they make it onto the swinging ledge. Right, now we're going to take a few backswings here, but we still have a clear on that obstacle nevertheless.
All right, Matthew,
for both of them.
A couple moves ahead, but David goes for the same move. He whiffs the dismount. He's got to go back, and I think that's all Matthew's going to need here
and that
on
takes
this
the pressure
final
off
obstacle.
of him, definitely.
He sets up his links, but he comes a little too close to it. Got to get there for the dismount. Buzzers for Matthew Kangro, 113. And David Preston's still going to finish out. He will be going to the comeback bracket, so any experience on any of these obstacles will help him out for his future runs. Nice,
definitely. Just could not make it in time before that time expired, though. So he's definitely going to make sure to keep that. Oh, he did?
Looks like yeah, it looks like he cleared with about a second and a half to spare. But definitely going to have to, now that they've run the course, they're definitely going to see some areas where they can cut back on time.
Yeah, and gain more experience on these. A few less back swings, and definitely higher hips. That's something that we've noticed here, especially on those little saucers.
All right, Sean O'Shea out of the New York City Ninja Academy in the red lane. Kyle Rear from Center Court Lawrence in the blue lane, and they're off. Both of these gentlemen have a pretty big reach. Really use that to their advantage on Monkey Peg. Kyle's out of there first, but Sean's not far behind.
Right, taking it a little bit slowly on those little pegs.
Ooh, like a little bit of a wonky dismount, pretty good.
But that wonky dismount has helped them go a little bit ahead, but that momentum there from that slider was very different between the two, and that's allowed for that little gap between them to essentially get a lot smaller. And now they're pretty much neck and neck here. One of them on the swinging ledge, one of them preparing to go onto the swinging ledge.
Ooh, you can see Kyle take a little look over before he went, trying to gauge how many swings he has to take. Understanding that he doesn't need to take too many risks right now.
Yeah, and those turbo rollers got through them, and now onto this last obstacle.
And there's the buzzer for Kyle Rear, 58 seconds, which is the fastest we've seen in this division. Sean's going to finish it out. Still making good time, and he's going to end up against David Preston in the comeback bracket.
He does a little celebratory spin at the end.
Our next race will have Ethan in the red lane and Matthew
that
in the
run.
blue lane.
Just dominant
So
one there.
good.
Following this race will be Sean and David.
A little bit of a smirk at the end. Knows that there's a lot of room to improve on this next run for that in the comeback round. And now we're on to our next two. We got Matthew versus Ethan. Matthew able to make it farther on the course than Ethan. So Ethan, with that ghost run, still not facing anyone, not been in this setting before. So we're going to see what he can do here. Nicely making their way through this obstacle. Going from long strides rather than going for each and every one of those little pegs, but still able to make it through the obstacle. A little bit up behind, but now going into these saucers.
Both of our athletes taking a backswing here, taking looks at each other as well. And now they're step for step coming into glide and grab. Matthew just maybe a half grab ahead, but he falls, and Ethan's gibboning his way through.
Right, and that's definitely going to give him an advantage. Zero fails into the place where he was not able to complete last time. Right, gets that swinging ledge. Now it's just that dismount. All right. Getting the way to that ring.
Oh, but he doesn't have enough
maintaining that
backswing here.
swing.
Oh, almost fell forward onto those turbo rollers, but he's good. Reaching out for that
stumbles
rope.
and a little bit of a rest.
And you know what? Matthew's not far behind right now. This is doable, but Ethan's linking his way out, and he's going to secure the win for himself.
got that urgency at the last possible moment to truly reach that buzzer. Matthew, it was a good effort, but ultimately that lead was something that he just could not come back
Sean in
from.
the red lane and David in the blue lane.
Well, that does
Following
put
this
Ethan
race will be
Alavides into the next round. We are now going to head into our comeback bracket. That's right. David Preston will be facing off against Sean O'Shea. You can see Sean in the red lane. David is over in the blue lane. Just waiting for the timer to read Sean. There it is.
Right, get into that little bit of a
This is
pose, analyzing these steps.
This is an interesting matchup here. Sean, 36 years old. David, just 18. Freshly entered the adult division. And I think this is still going to be a very competitive match. David with a bit of an early lead, but Sean right there, about one swing behind.
Now
these discs have been tricky for some of our athletes. Who's going to link their way out? Sean almost had it. David's out of there first. Sean not far behind.
Now onto the Sonic curve. Trying to grab onto each of these discs, but it looks like efficiency is going to be the key here. Now heading on to this edge of glory. Pretty much at the same pace. Oh, looks like a little bit of a backhand approach.
Catch. Oh,
but
you know, I like it. I think he was thinking of doing the link from that grab off to the second ledge, but he just peeled off, and he's down again, giving David Preston the win.
Right, now we're going to see how far he can go to get even a faster time than before. Right now, just one obstacle left. We're going to see if he's going to link these or just play it safe. He's got 20 seconds. That's more than enough time to just hit that buzzer.
He caught it with his hands like he wanted to link, but his legs were too far in front of him to really absorb that go. But he's going to get the buzzer, 1:19. Still well within our 1 minute 30 second time limit.
Our next race will have Matthew in the red and David in the blue. Following that race will be Ethan and
now we are
Kyle.
going to go into our next round. This is going to be David Preston versus Matthew Cancro. Looks like they're getting ready at the start line. All these runs going just as fast as the runs happening. This leeway in between, not that much time.
Now, it's also worth noting, David does get about a minute of rest as our regulation, requires, but if he needs a little bit extra, he can take a little bit extra, just a tiny bit. David just finished his race. He's officially had the most amount of races after this one. He's really running a gauntlet here.
Alright, rest time is up. Let's have our athletes.
And that's definitely going to start taking its toll as these runs progress through. This obstacle course, 10 obstacles, are not easy, and while they are going fast, that definitely exerts so much energy. Looking like they're getting the cue to start soon. They are both off. Strong grabs here.
Matthew in the red lane, dismounting first, but David's really close right now. Can he link his way through? No.
Both of them. But both of them have their hips up, and that is a sign that they could potentially link it in future races if they get that opportunity. Now heading into the zip line. Slowly
you can see different approaches here. David going with a one-arm approach there, Matthew with two.
Right, and one having those elbows bent.
Ooh, a drop from David.
We have a stumble there. David gonna need to pick that up, but now we are on
and these cliffs, the edge of glory, once again ending a run before we get to the buzzer. Matthew's actually going to step off the course knowing that he's got the win. He gets to save himself energy.
Because he's already faced these obstacles multiple times, so he knows what to expect on them. There's not really much experience that you can gain from doing the obstacle again that you pretty much can't visualize in your head.
Right. So that does, I believe, place Matthew into the final four. where Ethan Alavrides in the winner's bracket on the right is going to be facing Kyle Rear in the blue lane on the left.
Right, and here they go. Quick start here from both of them. Long arms from Kyle, and that's definitely going to help him here as he's making his way swiftly through.
Oh, a trick
whoa!
from Kyle. And that's going to give Ethan a little bit of
Ethan a
time,
bump.
but Ethan's
But it
not
doesn't really
linking
look like
these
it's
the
gonna
way
be that
Kyle
much.
is. Kyle pulls back
And
ahead.
Kyle has recoiled the lead from Ethan. That little stumble didn't really help much, but now they're going on to this obstacle with straight arms from Ethan, bent arms from straight arms from Kyle, bent arms from Ethan, but still they are going to be neck and neck as they're making their way nicely through this edge of glory. Right onto swinging ledge, both of them, but that backswing is going to cost him, and now just a few obstacles remain to that buzzer. You're going to see how caught up they get here on these rings.
Pull back from Ethan. I thought he was going to go.
Oh!
Kyle touches down.
Like his
So he
hand
only has
touched.
one attempt on turbo rollers, but he's only going to need one.
Makes it
Coming into the
work.
final obstacle, Ethan going for the links.
One-handed.
Kyle trying to give his way
He's
through.
gonna-
Kyle
Ethan
going
gets it.
for broke there, but Ethan 102 for the win.
Kyle could only get one hand on one of those lachet bars towards the end, as for Ethan, able to get both and make his way to the buzzer. But I feel like during that run, Kyle's little slip up there at the start definitely could have caused his heart to start racing, and that sense of panic definitely could have brought him into just a further sense of urgency than anyone else has had.
Well said, Jamie. And by the looks of it now, we are headed back into the winner's bracket, or the comeback bracket. I believe we should be headed into the comeback bracket. Ethan Alavrides has locked himself into the finals with that win over Kyle. And this
Alright.
does mean as well that Matthew Cancro will be racing Kyle Rear, who we just saw run, for a shot against Ethan in the finals. The loser of this match will get third place.
All right. We're going to see what happens here on this run. These ninjas have been racing for a good while already, so I can definitely know that that tiredness is definitely going to start affecting them here.
That's right. You have to think as well. Matthew ran just 2 runs ago. Kyle just ran this past race. They're both taking a little bit of time to rest here as needed, but you can see Kyle ready to go in the
Hands
red
on
lane.
hips.
Matthew in the blue lane. Empire Ninja versus Center Court Lawrence. Here we go.
Okay, we're going to see how they do. Ethan started out with a little bit of a disappointing run,
Ethan's
taking
not
that
here.
ghost run. Oh,
yes.
Ethan's not here.
No, Ethan's
All
not
right.
running right now.
Oh, my apologies then.
Kyle, though, this is where he's been making up time. He
Kyle-
links
oh!
the discs most of the time, but he peels off this time. Matthew's got
we're
a
gonna see what
good
happens
amount
now.
of space now. Let's see if Kyle can close the gap. Matthew, meanwhile,
Right,
working his
Matthew
way
getting
down.
it.
Smooth moves on the log.
Now
Oh,
camera
and a
focusing,
slip up again from Kyle in the back.
meaning that he
He's
only has
now-
one more fail, and that is it. That will be it for his run. So now the stakes couldn't be even higher, as Matthew has all 3 of his attempts still with him, so he could afford to take his time here. Now got almost a 2 obstacle lead compared to Kyle. Oh, and he peels off the edge of
Oh,
glory.
man. Kyle
Can't
Rear.
catch that second one.
Third place for Kyle Rear. Still a great run. Matthew Cancro, interesting strategy here. He's going to call it despite not attempting the last 2 obstacles. I understand energy conservation here, but he has officially entered the finals against none other than Ethan Alavrides, who has been undefeated today. I don't know if skipping out on more obstacle experience is the play when there's so many more obstacles to go, and Ethan has experience on all of them.
Yes, and as I was saying earlier, Ethan has been increasing in skill with each run, going from an Edge of Glory fail to pretty much making it to the buzzer almost every single time, with faster times on each. So that track record is definitely going to help him here as he's against Matthew.
Well, here we have it. If Ethan wins this race, he will be your head-to-head champion. But if Matthew wins this race, we go to a winner-take-all tiebreaker.
So the stakes
We'll see.
could not be higher.
You can see here Ethan in the red lane. He's awaiting start time. We're giving Matthew a little bit of time to rest before he goes right back into it. But the crowd is getting into it right now, getting excited.
They know this could be the deciding race of this entire bracket.
All right, and off to the races we go.
Off.
Matthew with a couple extra reaches, but Ethan has the longer span, and he gets out of there first, coming into step and soar.
All right, we're going to see if there's going to be backswings. Yep, there are. Nice dismount. Gets it, and Ethan is going to be taking that lead. Now heading into this next obstacle, but it looks like that lead is going to be shortened a little bit.
Ooh, Ethan with a backswing, and Matthew had the opportunity, but didn't execute when he needed. He's now one move behind Ethan. Can he pop to that cliff? Ethan's on the swinging ledge.
And he's
so
got
is
it.
Matthew. Ethan now
those
out of the
fingertips,
woods.
taking a few swings on the edge of glory, but is able to get through. And now there's a one obstacle lead that Ethan has, blazing through those turbo rollers. And now 30 seconds left into this last obstacle.
Ooh, no link there from Ethan, but he's gonna take the time that he has and be crowned head-to-head champion. Ethan Alavrides with a time of 1:07 has done it.
And yeah, that was a great run, starting from the edge of glory fail to now being crowned the champion. That story alone just being amazing for him. And there's our top three. Amazing jobs to all of them.
And there you have your podium. Ethan, Matthew, and Kyle, first, second, and third. Solid runs from all three gentlemen. Now, I want to point out how consistent, as Jamie was saying, Ethan was getting faster and faster, more consistent on every obstacle, really. And Kyle actually put up the fastest time of the division by about 4 seconds. It just comes down to the consistency, the ability to stay calm and collected. That's what Ethan had. That is the makings of a champion. Great job, Ethan.
All right, looks like they're getting some congratulations from people.
And we are taking it over to our podium, where we are going to crown all 5 athletes who are getting trophies today. There is Brooke Redmond taking second place for the adult female division. And up comes her sister, Callie.
Great, the two of them probably going to have a fun car ride home talking about it, comparing trophies, talking about that experience. Oh, and there's some confetti too.
A little bit of a jump scare for everyone who's in first, because it's right behind them, so they always get a little startled. It's one of my favorite features of the podium.
Now, is there any sound that comes with that coming up, or is it just
totally. It's a loud pop. It's a loud pop.
Oh, wow.
There's Kyle taking his 3rd place trophy for the adult male division.
In second place, we have Matthew.
Being spoiled. It's definitely not going to be as alarming.
Definitely. They'll see it coming.
Yeah.
And Ethan Alavrides now coming up to collect his 1st place trophy for the adult male division. Congratulations to all of our athletes today. Your head-to-head podium. What a way to celebrate. Very excited to see the future of head-to-head with these young gentlemen here. Ready to
amazing division from everyone.
push some more races in the future.
Yeah, this is only the beginning for all 3 of these ninjas in head-to-head racing. Head-to-head bringing everything up. And now we're going to take a look at the schedule, Kane, if you want to elaborate on that.
That's right. Be sure to tune in about 10 minutes. All of these are in Eastern time, so 10 a.m. Eastern time. We will be kicking it back off with the young adult male division. Then at 11 a.m., we will have the teen female division, 12:55 p.m., the teen male division, and rounding off the day, 2:30 p.m. Eastern time, the elite male division, where Will Schlageter, elite competitor, will be commentating alongside elite male world champion Jackson Erdos. You are not going to want to miss that. thank you so much for joining me, Jamie.
Oh yeah, they have a gigantic.
Right, no problem. Thank you for having me, Kane. It's been a great event
Of
here today.
course. Well, with that, everyone, we will see you back here live on the World Ninja League YouTube at 10 a.m. Eastern.
That's the big thing. I was locking off way too
All
much,
right.
'cause that's like comfort zone, and I need to break out of that. Don't lock off like I